Is the Supreme Court about to sabotage the future of American borders? President Donald Trump just fired a massive warning shot, declaring that a potential ruling against his executive order to restrict birthright citizenship would be an absolute disaster for the nation. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in U.S. politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow and ensures you get the updates that the mainstream media often ignores. President Trump is sounding the alarm, and he isn't holding back. As the Supreme Court prepares to issue a historic decision on his January 2025 executive order, the president has publicly stated that he believes the justices are leaning toward a ruling that would effectively gut his attempt to limit automatic citizenship. Trump's argument is stark. He predicts that if the current system remains, 20 to 25% of people entering the country will be granted citizenship through the very mechanism he is trying to curb. He calls the economic and social consequences of this path not even doable for the United States. To understand the weight of this, we have to look at the unprecedented nature of this clash. Trump didn't just sit on the sidelines. He made history by becoming the first sitting president to attend oral arguments at the Supreme Court. He was there in April, watching as Chief Justice John Roberts and Justices Amy Coney Barrett and Ketanji Brown Jackson grilled the administration. The questions from the bench were sharp and pointed. Justice Jackson notably challenged the administration's logistics, asking, "Are we bringing pregnant women in for depositions?" While Justice Barrett expressed deep concern that changing the interpretation of citizenship would create widespread administrative chaos. The administration's case rests on the idea that the current interpretation of the 14th Amendment is being weaponized. Trump argues that the amendment was intended for the children of slaves in the post-Civil War era, not for wealthy foreign nationals or, as he puts it, Chinese billionaires to exploit American generosity for their own gain. The White House points to birth tourism operations, where foreign nationals intentionally travel to the U.S. just to ensure their children gain the legal status of an American citizen. Trump is convinced that the Supreme Court, which he claims has made a habit of ruling against his agenda such as his recent tariff decisions, will deliver another blow to his administration. He's explicitly stated he is not happy with the current trajectory of the court. But what does this actually mean for the country? If the court strikes down the executive order, it effectively locks in the current standard, leaving the administration with very little room to maneuver on this specific policy front. As legal expert John Yoo has suggested, if the court keeps the current constitutional rule, the only way forward for those wishing to restrict citizenship status would be a much more aggressive enforcement of visa requirements and a complete crackdown on the birth tourism industry itself. Meanwhile, the public remains deeply divided. Though recent polling data from Fox News shows an interesting trend, 69% of voters now support birthright citizenship for children born to illegal immigrants, a massive jump from the 45% support seen back in 2006. We are looking at a battle between constitutional originalism and the practical, modern-day reality of border security. Protesters are already lining up outside the court, arguing that birthright citizenship is an essential American right that cannot be negotiated away. On the other side, the administration insists that the current interpretation is a loophole that is threatening the very fabric of our national economy. The pressure on the Supreme Court is immense, and the decision they reach in the coming weeks will likely define the immigration debate for a generation. So, where do you stand on this? Do you believe birthright citizenship is an outdated policy being exploited? Or is it a fundamental American value that must remain untouched? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one of them, and I want to hear your perspective on this constitutional showdown. The clock is ticking, and the Supreme Court's decision is imminent. Whether it results in a landmark shift or a reaffirmation of the status quo, one thing is certain: the conversation surrounding American citizenship will never be the same. Stay tuned, because when that ruling drops, we will be here to break it down. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.